13 Action News, live at 5.
Right now, monsoon 2021 packing a punch from dangerous lightning to rumbling thunderstorms, driving rain, and wild winds. Tonight, the threat is not over.
From the damage and the flooding across southern Nevada
to the up-to-the-minute storm track, 13 First Alert Action Day is in full swing.
And it is another rain-soaked 13 First Alert Action Day. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Todd Quinones. Trisha Keene has the night off. Well, monsoon 2021 certainly showing its strength, leaving really just an absolute mess behind. Of course, we had the rain and the strong winds and the lightning as well. One of those strikes hitting the very top of the Strat, our camera on top of it, actually going out. We are told right now there is some minimal damage. We do have team coverage tonight. Our crew is all over the hardest hit areas, surveying all of that damage and also the cleanup that's happening right now. But we begin with meteorologist Danny Beckstrom right now at the Weather Center, tracking where this system right now is heading, Danny.
Yeah, Todd, things look to be settling down, and thank goodness for that, because the west side today getting hit very hard. It was the east side last night. Rainfall totals approaching an inch for spots around Henderson. Today, close to an inch of rain on Mount Charleston, 9/10 of an inch of rain at the Red Rock Detention Basin, 7/10 of an inch of rain at Red Rock Canyon's Visitor Center, and over 1/2 of an inch of rain for Summerlin West and Lone Mountain. It was a very busy morning on radar, but for now, things in Clark County specifically finally starting to settle down. Want to zoom in here to Lincoln County, where we have both a severe thunderstorm warning and a flash flood warning just north of Caliente due to this significant complex of storms. It's producing those outflow gusts that are potentially damaging, as well as the heavy rain contributing to that flash flood risk. For Indian Springs, we are tracking a thunderstorm here with fairly light rain, but still seeing gusty wind and frequent lightning. And it's nice to see Pahrump finally calming down. Right now, this area of rain pushing further north and west toward Tonopah, but this is the one that really caused massive flooding in Pahrump earlier today. It looks like that flash flood warning has finally expired, but Death Valley still under the flash flood warning. So it's been a very, very busy Monday, even if in Las Vegas right now, we're actually seeing sunshine. We're not out of the woods in terms of storm chance just yet, and the sunny skies that you're seeing right now could aid in a little instability as those thunderstorms fire off. I'll show you the futurecast though, let you know what to expect for the remainder of your Monday night coming up in just a bit.
Yeah, what a wild couple hours it has been. Danny, thank you. In the meantime, the rain making a big mess. One of the hardest hit areas is Pahrump. You could see there floodwater is all over the roads tonight. Roads are covered with rock and also sand blocking traffic. And 13 Action News reporter Abel Garcia went to Red Rock today where there are some issues there as well. He now joins us live in Pahrump. And so, Abel, the question is, what are you seeing right now?
Todd, it's a bit of a different scene than what we saw a little earlier today. I'm currently standing right here along State Route 160 in Pahrump, and right behind me you can see that earlier this was covered in water coming down, but now we're left with the aftermath. We're left with a lot of rock, we're left with a lot of dirt, and many business owners and other residents are now working with their tractors and shoveling up as much as possible as they try to repair the damage of this storm. Parts of Pahrump are still underwater.
This I haven't seen. It's like a river moving down.
The runoff from the heavy rain leaving behind sand and gravel on roads and business driveways. On certain parts along SR 160, water levels reaching more than 10 inches, raising concerns for many.
I don't think it's worth anyone's life or safety trying to fight their way through this water.
Near Red Rock going up towards the Calico Basin, roads were also impacted. For these tourists visiting from St. Louis, Missouri, their hiking trip came to a drastic halt. They say they attempted to cross a flooded out road, but they don't think they would have made it out.
It's pretty worrisome. This is a small car, so I'm worried that it might start washing away at the tires and cause us to lose control here.
The fear of hydroplaning was the worry for another family who came out to enjoy the day near the basin, getting drenched by the heavy rainfall.
Fast and dangerous. It can come very fast.
As severe weather hits our city, it is critical to be alert and take extra precautions as debris and heavy amounts of water remain on our roadways. Earlier today, my photographer and I were near Calico Basin, and we were just told that there was an individual, there was a driver who was going through those flooding roads, and they were actually stuck there and they were having some troubles to get out. And this is exactly why officials are urging that importance to make sure that you're taking those safety precautions. If you see or if you feel like you could be flooded, it is better to turn around and avoid that flooded area instead of drowning. Reporting live in Pahrump, Abel Garcia, KOLOI News 13 Action News.
Hey, Abel, thank you. And as we know, these storms certainly can cause a lot of damage, and that includes power lines. And 13 Action News traffic anchor Zora Asbury now surveyed one spot that kept NV Energy crews busy.
Those severe thunderstorms overnight did cause some damage here at the intersection of Spring Mountain and Decatur, where crews are working to fix two down power lines. So you'll notice Nevada Energy, Cox, and also VCI construction on scene. Now, we spoke to officials who did say the incident isn't directly related to weather, but that weather could have played a role. Last night, a car ran into one of the poles, knocking down the other one and also knocking out power to two strip malls nearby. Now, crews do tell me they've already been busy this monsoon season. Just last Friday, they were repairing poles at Boulder and Russell. Today, they say they do plan on being out here into the evening hours, repairing these down power lines here at Spring Mountain and Decatur and restoring business to the businesses nearby. So we're going to continue to monitor more issues into this evening as we do expect more rainfall. Reporting, Zora Asbury, 13 Action News.
All right, now to more of that cleanup in the valley. A viewer is sending us this picture here of a downed tree. It happened last night. This is right near Warm Springs and Jones. And right now, as people deal with the damage left behind, some will be looking to hire a contractor. So we have a warning, though, before you do hire someone to help you out. Unlicensed contractors can do more damage than good. The Nevada State Contractors Board will tell you if a contractor is, in fact, in good standing and also what kind of license they may have. Also, make sure that they are employed by the company that they claim to work for, and also try to get multiple bids. Once you've made your choice, then get everything in writing.
You want to make sure that all those details are translated into your actual contract. So down to the type of paint, the color paint, the type of material, how it's going to be cut, the size of the wood grain that you want, etc.
Also, be sure to ask for references as well. And remember that we are your First Alert weather station. You could download the free KTNV app at any time. You could learn what the weather will be like in your neighborhood. To COVID-19 now, the CDC may soon recommend that everyone wear masks in public despite vaccination status. Dr. Anthony Fauci says the changes are under active consideration right now as the Delta variant drives COVID rates up. Right now, the guidance is fully vaccinated people do not need to wear masks indoors. And also happening right now in Nevada, cases, they are surging. The state health department now reporting some 2,400 new coronavirus cases just since Friday. Also, 20 more people now have been killed by this virus, and there have been some 45 new hospitalizations. The overwhelming vast majority of deaths and hospitalizations continue to be people who chose not to get vaccinated. Nevada's test positivity rate now has jumped to 13.5% over the past 2 weeks. Well, as we know, there is a lot of misinformation about the coronavirus on social media. Some people are wondering if someone tested positive multiple times, could they be counted as multiple cases? We wanted to clear up the air. The Southern Nevada Health District says that a person testing multiple times as positive is treated as one case. And it is also possible to catch COVID twice. So again, they say it's important to get vaccinated. Well, we also looked into other COVID conspiracies, so you could go to ktnv.com to see how doctors are debunking them. New at 5, child tax credits, they have likely hit bank accounts of parents by now. And while it is the money people desperately need, there are people out there who do want to take it from you. And 13 Action News anchor Kalina Estrinos now has tips to protect yourself from potential scammers.
Another day, another scam.
IRS Criminal Investigations, we investigate a range of fraud cases.
The IRS says at first it was stimulus checks and PPP loan scams.
Individuals and businesses have been defrauded by scammers out of millions of dollars.
And now,
the American Rescue Act of 2021 included that temporary enhancement for the child tax credit, which was intended to help millions of families struggling to recover from the pandemic. And this has just really been a heyday for criminals.
That's right, parents. Scammers are looking for ways to get their hands on that extra money hitting your accounts.
If you get any sort of correspondence out of the blue from someone asking you for money or telling you that they can help you facilitate getting your payments, be cautious because oftentimes those are scammers.
And whether they call, text, or email, the IRS wants you to pay attention to their tone.
You know, anyone that says that, there's an urgent matter or threatening you or aggressive calls, all of that scams.
And if you do happen to catch one of these scammers in the act, the IRS encourages you to write down some notes.
If they happen to give you their name or where they're calling from or, the date, the time, what they're asking for, that's all information that would be helpful in reporting to the IRS.
And remember, you can always report scammers right on the IRS website. Kalina Estrinos, 13 Action News.
Crime alert to tell you about tonight. Police, they are trying to figure out why a father may have shot and killed his own daughter today. This happened right near Sahara in the 215. Police say they got a call from the man saying that he had just shot his daughter in self-defense. Officers say the man is in his 60s and the victim is in her late 20s and they live together. Metro right now is talking to the father, trying to identify a possible motive. Well, tonight, a local man is facing charges after leaving a child inside of a hot car. North Las Vegas police say that Jesse Ramirez asked someone to watch the child because the 6-year-old wasn't allowed inside an auto salvage yard. Police say windows of the car were down, but it was more than 100 degrees outside. Ramirez telling police that he made a mistake and apologized, according to law enforcement. The child is with right now Protective Services. Well, new at 5, coffee concerns. So what's happening to the crops that may soon rise prices?
I was in tears. I was crying.
A debt dilemma, the easy way a woman paid off her $100,000 credit card debt. And March Madness monsoon style, the new game to predict monsoon activity. New tonight, coffee prices may soon go up. That's because prices surged today to the highest in more than 6 years. It comes after Brazil faced frost that threatened crops. Brazil is one of the top coffee producers out there. Those frosts hitting some 11% of the total crops. Prices went up by 35%, and that may force major brands to raise prices now in the coming weeks ahead. New tonight, card balances dropped during the pandemic, but a new study now shows that nearly half of Americans are willing to take on more debt. And Jackie Calloway shares the story of a woman who found herself drowning in debt and also what you can do to pay it off.
For years, Jennifer Myers led the good life. It included trips to Vegas and the mountains.
And that's how we were paying for it. Was every time was credit card.
Along with the purchases of designer handbags and expensive bikes.
If you want something, just get it.
Luxuries financed by a dozen different credit cards, some with interest rates above 20%.
Discover, Sam's Club, TJ Maxx.
How much did it add up to?
It was $100,000.
How did that make you feel?
I was in tears. I was crying.
During the pandemic, credit card balances fell 17%, but creditcards.com found Americans this year have an urge to splurge.
44% of Americans told us that they're willing to go into debt during the second half of this year for non-essential purchases.
In Jennifer's case, she turned to the nonprofit Money Management International for help.
We are able to consolidate, much like a debt consolidation loan, but without creating a new loan. We're able to consolidate those monthly payments and lower those high interest credit card rates down to around 7%.
Set us up on a 5-year program to pay the whole entire debt off.
In Jennifer's case, Money Management International negotiated lower interest rates and put her on a payment plan.
Everything's zero balanced.
Last month, 4.5 years after she signed up for debt help, Jennifer made the final payment on her $100,000.
So it could take decades to pay off a high-interest card. Now, you could try negotiating down interest rates on your own, or perhaps if you want, contact a nonprofit debt management company, but also make sure to research them before you sign any paperwork. Well, new here at 5, it is monsoon madness. Researchers at the University of Arizona, they are appealing to weather watchers out there. They have developed a fantasy-style sports game. It is called Southwest Monsoon Madness. Now, to play, you guess exactly how much rainfall that 5 desert cities will get each of the next 3 months. The cities that are on that list include Tucson, Phoenix, Flagstaff, Albuquerque, and El Paso. Yeah, no Vegas on that list, but if you'd like to play, we do have a link at ktnv.com. Certainly no bets needed here as Monsoon 21 showing its strength. This is what the strong winds did to my backyard last night. Yeah, you can see there the patio furniture. My wife yelled, she says, "Oh my God, there goes the patio furniture." As literally I'm upstairs holding shut a window that had been blown open by the wind. It was quite the experience last night, Daddy.
Mother Nature was just showing her design skill.
And honestly, we had just put our son to bed. It was Netflix time for us, and then boom.
Psych. Oh my gosh, yeah, it was a crazy night, especially on the east side last night. And then the west side this morning saw most of the action. So no matter where you live in the Las Vegas Valley, I think either last night or this morning, you're definitely dealing with the crazy conditions, the gusty wind, the frequent lightning, the torrential rain. We've seen it all. It's nice to see things on the Desert Doppler finally calm down for Clark County, but we're not calm across the board. We'll zoom in here to Lincoln County. That severe thunderstorm warning has officially expired, but we're still seeing that flash flood warning just north of Caliente due to the really heavy rain associated with this complex of thunderstorms. Tonopah going to start to dry out here in a little bit. It looks like the heaviest rain is moving on, but still picking up some rain in northern Nye County. Looks like things have settled down for Pahrump, thank goodness, after such a wet start to the morning. Between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., rain gauges in Pahrump picked up close to 2 inches of rain. So that was a very messy morning. For the most part, things are quiet, but Indian Springs seeing a thunderstorm as we speak. And we're still seeing the threat for a little flash flooding through late tonight, which is why the National Weather Service still has this flash flood watch in place. But we do expect from here on out things to settle down. We're not in the clear yet. We're going to still see those spotty thunderstorm chances through dinner time tonight. But it looks like overnight into tomorrow morning, even the cloud cover clears out. Now, tomorrow we're not in the clear either, still a 20% storm chance primarily for the first half of the day, but it does look like by Wednesday we're able to drop the storm chances out of the forecast. We'll stay mostly dry through Thursday before our next round of moisture moves in. So we're not completely done with this unsettled weather pattern. In fact, we get a resurgence of the storm chance this weekend, but it is good to see a brief break between rounds of rain. That'll allow things to quiet down for the next several days. This is a look at tonight. Temperatures in the 80s. It's very humid, very sticky outside. The cloud cover does stick around, but it looks like storm chances will begin to taper off for Las Vegas. Our lows are in the 70s for most of the region, with highs tomorrow bouncing back a bit. We'll get closer to the triple digits in the Las Vegas Valley, and that warming trend does take highs back to the seasonal average by Thursday. The reason for that is the drier air working in. Water moderates temperature, so even when we're just talking about the humidity in the air, it tends to temper the temperature a little bit. But with dry conditions setting back in, highs climb back to the seasonal average by the middle of the week. But then we're already tracking that next round of rain. So yes, we'll stay mostly dry from here through Thursday, but starting Friday and then again Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, our next rounds of rain chances. It's really good to see this kind of moisture settling in, but I think it's even better that we do get a bit of a break from it for a couple days this week before we have to deal with another round of monsoon storms. Again, tonight we're not totally in the clear, but our storm chances are gradually weakening into tomorrow.
Yeah, to give me a chance to fix that window upstairs. All right, Danny, thank you. Well, it is an art installation that went viral across the valley. Well, now the famous 7 Magic tires are getting a museum treatment. So where you can see that piece. And also at 6, an end in sight for the eviction moratorium. So what changes can renters expect? It is official. Right now you are getting a look inside the newly named Caesars Superdome. This here is video of crews installing the Caesars logo there at the stadium in downtown New Orleans. As we told you last week, the company just signed a 20-year, $138 million deal with the Saints. This gives Caesars exclusive naming rights or renderings presented to lawmakers in Louisiana to show what that finished product will look like. Well, the race right now back to the moon is on, and Jeff Bezos wants to help out. Today, he offered NASA some $2 billion if his company, Blue Origin, is given a contract for a second human landing system. Bezos is waiving any payments for the next 2 fiscal years. If given the go-ahead, Blue Origin would build a lunar lander to put astronauts back on the moon. In April, NASA awarded a contract to SpaceX. Well, new at 5, the so-called 7 magic tires, they are now landing in a museum. The art installation popped up on the east side of Las Vegas in 2019. It then became quickly a social media sensation. Well, now it'll go on display at the Nevada Museum of Art, that is in Reno. The tires, of course, are made to replicate the 7 magic mountains. Well, another show is getting a residency here in Las Vegas. Now, you might know the group called Illuminate from America's Got Talent. They will now perform at the Strat starting next month. The show combines technology and dancers performing in the dark. The show will kick off on August 26. Tickets, they are on sale now. They start right around $50. And coming up later in tonight's ABC primetime lineup at 8 o'clock, it is The Bachelorette. That is followed by Celebrity Dating Game at 10. Then join us for 13 Action News live at 11. And before we go tonight, we certainly have a very special happy birthday wish. Happy birthday to Oscar Goodman. He, of course, wore so many hats over the years: the mob attorney, unofficial Las Vegas PR man, actor, author, restaurant owner, and of course, mayor. Goodman, born in Philadelphia, he is now 82 years young. We raise a martini glass to you, Mayor. Happy birthday indeed. That is our news for now. We'll see you back here tonight at 6.